Welcome to Student Registration Overview of the December State of Texas Assessments of Academic Readiness, STAAR, and of course, EOC. This training will cover registration reminders, TIDE demonstration on student information task and test attributes task, an overview of the student data file format and a template, how to verify student information, and how to make sure your districts receive the correct amount of paper materials. First, a quick reminder on the student registration in TIDE. It is important to remember that registrations for STAAR assessments will default to paper if online is not indicated on the student eligibility panel of the student information page in TIDE. And students enrolled in EOC subjects must be registered for applicable tests and subjects in which they will test. Let us review what the student information page looks like in TIDE. From the TIDE homepage, go to Student Information. Click Add Student. On the left side, you will see these numbered buttons. You can click any button to go directly to that task. Remember that fields with an asterisk are required fields for students to be registered in TIDE. Under Student Eligibility Task, you will find Test Format, where you can set the student's test format to either paper or online. Under the Test Attributes task, you can turn on or turn off supports for eligible students. For students taking a Braille version of the test, you will find the selection under Presentation. To view more subjects, you can click on the blue arrow to expand your view. When using the data file upload option, refer to the data file format for student registration document posted in the Technology Resources section of the Texas Assessment website. This document helps district coordinators navigate through the data file to complete all the data requirements for each student taking a STAAR assessment and to upload the file into TIDE. As a reminder, district users can download a template from the Upload Student Information option under the Student Information task in TIDE. It is important to note that for students to be added to TIDE, two files must be uploaded. First file is the student registration file, which contains students' demographic information and test eligibility, such as paper or online format of the test, or students' EOC eligibility. And the second file is the test attribute file, which will contain information such as embedded supports or language version that eligible students will receive on their online tests. We will cover the test attributes file upload process later. Users should be aware that TIDE will update and override information based on the most recent uploaded data file where differences exist. First, click Download Templates to download a template for your upload file. Open the template, enter information for the students you wish to add using Excel or another program, and save the file in Excel or CSV format. Once you return to TIDE, click Browse and select the file you just saved. Click Next. The Upload Preview screen appears. The steps are Upload, Preview, Validate, and Confirmation. In this demonstration, you see a blank student template file on the left and a student registration file layout on the right. You will see on the file layout that column A of the student template will have a TSDS ID header, and it also indicates that this is a required field. As you can see, not all fields are required to be entered on the student template file, such as the middle name and gender code. You will, however, be required to enter information on all fields where it is indicated with yes in the file layout. It is strongly recommended that the districts fill out all student demographic information on the upload file. However, districts can choose to fill out only the required fields such as TSDSID, district and campus codes, last name, first name, date of birth, grade level, as well as the EOC eligibility flags for applicable subjects and the preferred testing mode for those EOC subjects during the initial order window to meet the registration deadline. Remember that if the test mode field is left blank, it will default to paper. Be sure to upload another file that will update and fill in missing fields in the student registration file by the end of the test window to ensure that the correct information is used for data and reporting purposes. As mentioned earlier, you will need to upload a second file containing test attributes that eligible students receive. The Upload Tests Attribute task is found under Test Attributes. From this page, you can download the template in Microsoft Excel or CSV format, fill out necessary information, and then upload that file. You will notice that there will be a drop-down option in the subject, tool name, and value columns to select what students should receive on their online tests. This task is performed by following the same 4 steps as uploading a student data file: upload, preview, validate, and confirmation. Here are some important reminders about registering EOC students in TIDE. Initial student registrations, retesters, and first-time testers. Districts and campuses must mark the STAAR EOC eligibility fields as yes, why, in order to receive adequate number of test administrator manuals and any paper testing materials needed. Students need to be uploaded and have eligibility and test mode set by September 29, 2021 to be included in these calculations. Retester flags will be sent by November 1, 2021 for students that are registered in TIDE. If additional paper material is needed because students were not included in the initial student registration, both first time and retester, district will need to order those materials in the additional orders window starting November 29, 2021. Please note that column AJ of the student registration file is reserved for crisis code or codes. The examples included in the data file were for 2020, 2021, and no longer apply. Districts should leave this field blank. A data file of registered students in TIDE can be downloaded and used to verify information. Testing coordinators can do the following: verify data and make changes if updates are needed, change mode of testing and test eligibilities, change test attributes for eligible students to receive embedded supports, override existing information with the most recent uploaded data file where differences exist, save the last upload file, and make updates for existing students. Remember that the new upload file will blank out any field that is left blank for which data was already present in TIDE. For example, if a biology EOC indicator was flagged in TIDE, but the new upload file did not have any value for the biology EOC eligibility field, the most recent upload will turn off the biology EOC indicator flag. It is recommended to save the upload files and use them to make any updates for existing students. When you finish making updates for any changes, you should upload it back in TIDE. Here you see the View, Edit, Export Student page showing the search criteria fields. Required criteria are marked with asterisks, while other criteria are optional. You can further refine your criteria by selecting options from the Search Fields drop-down menu under Advanced Search. Additional search fields may appear depending on your selection. Click the Add button and the additional criteria chosen section will appear on the right side of the panel. Click Search to continue. When you click View Results, Tide will display all the students satisfying the search criteria. To add or delete columns to display, click the drop-down menu at the upper right corner of the results. You can edit a student's information by clicking the green pencil icon. To see print options for students or delete them from Tide, you can select the desired students and click the Print button above the search results. To export the results, mark the check boxes next to the results you wish to export and click the green Export button above the search results. A pop-up window will appear with the option to export to inbox in either Microsoft Excel or CSV format. This is what the Microsoft Excel file would look like when you export the student search results. Let us take a closer look at the test format columns shown here. When you expand the column, you can see which tests students are eligible to take in the test format that has been decided for them. Let's review how to view and edit test eligibility for a student. In this example, we are looking for a grade 9 student who will be taking an online Algebra 1 test. First, search for students who meet the criteria by selecting grade 9 from the drop-down menu. Under Advanced Search, locate Test Format from the drop-down menu. Once it is located, place a check mark next to Algebra 1 and select Paper. Be sure to click Add Selected to add the search criteria. Click Search to display the results. A pop-up window will appear indicating that these search criteria will return 67 results. Select View Results to view. Next, you will modify the student's test eligibility by clicking the pencil icon to go to the student's information page. Find Student Eligibility in the numbered button and click to go to the panel. You will see that the student is currently showing Paper for Algebra 1. Change it to Online in the drop-down option. Be sure to save before exiting the page. Now let's review how to view and edit test attributes on a student. In this example, we are looking for a grade 9 student who has recently become eligible to receive content and language support and text-to-speech on her online Algebra 1 test. First, search for students who meet the criteria by selecting grade 9 from the drop-down menu. Under Advanced Search, locate Content and Language Support from the drop-down menu. Once it is located, place a check mark next to Algebra 1 and select Off. Be sure to click Add Selected to add the search criteria. Click Search to display the results. A pop-up window will appear indicating that these search criteria will return 11 results. Select View Results to view. Next, we will modify the student's test attributes by clicking the pencil icon to go to the student's information page. Find Test Attributes and click the plus sign to expand the view. You will see that the student does not have embedded supports turned on. Because she is now eligible to receive content and language supports and text-to-speech, those options should be turned on there. When and if the student's eligibility for embedded supports changes, you can return to this panel to make necessary adjustments. Be sure to save before exiting the page. We'll discuss paper registration and initial orders next. The number of students registered and tied as paper at the end of each initial order window will be used to determine quantities of paper test materials. Schedules for initial order windows for each test administration, as well as windows for additional orders, will be listed in the DCCR. Schedules will also be listed on the calendar of events. For the December STAAR EOC, the initial order window is from September 15 to September 29, 2021. Initial order registration and calculations will take place in the overarching Texas School Year 2021-2022 Student Testing Information Management, based on the test format entered there. To review the initial order for each STAAR administration, select Paper Materials Management for the applicable STAAR administration. This sample image shows the drop-down menu where district coordinators can select to review the initial paper orders for different administrations. Requests for different versions of a test, including large print, are uploaded separately by subject in the Test Attributes file upload, or manually entered in the Test Attributes field of the Student Information page. To request a paper test with embedded supports, districts must complete the Special Administration Form and have it approved by TEA. More information will be available soon. Districts will consult the initial order materials list, order reports, available and tied, and should adjust student registrations for initial shipments before the end of the initial order window. Please keep in mind that district STAAR overages will remain at 10%. The initial paper orders window is a read-only option for all users. This image is what district coordinators will see when the window to view the order opens for the STAAR administration. These numbers are based on the information found on the test eligibility panel in Student Information page. In this example, this campus is expected to receive 50 Algebra 1 test booklets. This means that in tied, 50 students are showing yes for the end of course eligibility for Algebra 1 and paper or none selected for Algebra 1 test format before the end of the initial order window. Districts can adjust student registration by updating their test eligibility and test mode by September 29, 2021. For the December STAAR EOC administration only, calculations for the number of test administrator manual districts receive will be based on the number of students that are registered during the initial order window. Let's review how to change students' test format or mode of testing. After reviewing the material lists, you remembered that a student recently requested to take her Algebra 1 test on paper. Here are the steps you need to follow. Go to Manage Account and select Change Role. For administration task, find the overarching Texas School Year 2021-2022 student testing information in the drop-down menu to go back to the Student Information task. Click View, Edit, Export Student option. In this example, we are looking for a student with online as a mode of testing for Algebra 1. Find Test Format in the Advanced Search option, select Algebra 1, and then Online. Make sure to click Add Selected and click Search. Click on the green pencil icon for the student, find student eligibility on the numbered circle, and select Paper for Algebra 1. Be sure to save before exiting this page. Because the system is dynamic, this change will immediately be reflected in the initial order summary page. For any materials not included in the initial shipment, you can use the Additional Orders window to order them. Additional orders are not based on student registrations. In this example, you see that this district received 21 STAAR EOC Biology test booklets. But since the initial order window closed and the district enrolled several new students, the quantity in the initial shipment will not be enough and they will need a total of 45 test booklets. As you can see here, you will enter the total number of test booklets your district needs in the additional quantity box. In this case, enter 45 in the additional quantity box and click on Save Orders. A window will appear indicating the order summary after you click Save Orders. On this window, you can see that 24 test booklets are awaiting approval for the additional order request. Click Close to go back to the additional order page. After the order summary window is closed, this is what the additional orders page looks like. Now you can see 24 test booklets are pending approval and 45 as the total number of booklets this district will receive altogether. These are the topics that were covered in this training. You may use the controls on the player to review any information.